Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Kevin here, and I just want to talk to you guys about the three most common variables that fellow CPAs who I talk to gripe about, and that would be in relation to their work, in relation to the firms that they work for, or even in industry. And that would be location, time, and the amount they get paid. And usually when you enter into an employment contract, you don't have much say in regards to the location. Usually it's the employer's offices that you're going to work at. You may have 1, maybe 2 days where you can work from home. Those luxuries are far and few between. In regards to time, ordinarily it's based on a 37.5 to 40-hour work week, and overtime as required. And usually you've got very little say in that. And if you do want to reduce your hours, then you're going to get reduced pay. And the third biggest gripe is pay. And usually with pay, I mean, that's pre-negotiated before you even start your employment. So that is what it is. I'm sure most employers will offer bonuses or overtime, which is usually paid at time and a half or some factor of that sort. But the reality is you don't have a lot of control over the location that you're going to work at, the time that you're going to have to put in, and the pay. Those three factors are ordinarily, I don't want to go so far as to say etched in stone, because there is some flexibility, but there isn't a whole pile of flexibility. I'll give you an example. There was a post on Reddit coming from an accountant who had basically was venting that he had been working for the firm for 8+ years, was working more than 50 hours a week, was completely feeling burnt out, and was ready to quit. Now, his supervisor talked him into staying and told him, look, here it is. Take a month off. When you come back, we're going to pay you a bonus, and your hours are going to be reduced to 40 hours a week. You're not going to have to worry about doing 50 hours a week. So he took a month off, rested up, recuperated, came back to work. His hours remained at 50 hours a week, and he didn't get the bonus that he was promised he would get. Hence him venting again on Reddit. And what I can say is that situation that I just described, some are just as extreme in terms of people who I've spoken with. Some are not as extreme. Actually, I talked to one CPA practitioner, and his situation is that for one of his employees, he basically couldn't afford to lose them. So he said, look, here it is. I'm going to give you a month off with pay. Go and recuperate, and then come back. And when you come back, we got to hit it hard because I got files stacking up. So where I'm going with this whole thing is that, is there such a concept where you can control your location, the time that you spend working, and the amount of money that you make? And I think having control of those three variables is very tough when you're working as an employee. Those three variables become so much easier to achieve if you are running your own firm. And I'll give you an example. In one of my previous videos, I talked about a lifestyle firm. And a lifestyle firm allows you to control all three of those variables in terms of location. You can decide where you want to work, be it from your home office or be it from your office. You can decide the amount of time you want to work, be it 8 hours a week, 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, whatever. And you can decide the amount of money you want to make. The more clients you take on, the more money you're going to make. So you control all three of those variables, versus when you're an employee, you technically don't get to really control any of them. You can go in before you're hired and you can try to negotiate any one of those three variables or all of those variables. But the bottom line is, I know for myself, if I'm going to hire a staff member, I want the person to be there 37 and a half to 40 hours a week. I mean, that's what the position is. I want the individual to be working in my office. That's where the position is. And we will negotiate a salary before the person even starts. So basically, I'm on solid ground in terms of I know what I'm getting and what I'm paying for, and the person who negotiates with me, they're on solid ground. They know where they're going to work, they know how many hours a week they're going to work, and they know how much they're going to make. Now, when you compare that with running your own firm, you basically have freedom of all three of those variables. Freedom of where you want to work, freedom of how many hours you want to work, and freedom of how much you want to work. I'll give you a quick example. If you have, let's say you've got a big enough firm whereby you're working 25 to 35 hours a week, and let's say you want to take a week off next week, you can do that because you are the one who juggles the workload. You juggle the schedule. So if you want to take a week off next week, but you don't want to lose any of your income, then you can work on files a week before you go and a week when you get back. So there's freedom of time. There's freedom of money or earning power, because you can decide, you know what, I'm going to take next week off, but I can't afford to lose any of my income. So you put your time in the week before and the week after, or you do it all the week after or all the week before. Doesn't matter, because it's entirely up to you. In regards to freedom of location, if you have, let's say you have friends and family over, and you don't really want to go into the office for 40 hours a week, which is the week that everybody's come over to visit. Well, you can work from your home office. You can tap into your work network, and you can do the necessary reviewing and working on files and that sort of thing from your home office. You don't have to go into the office. If you decide that you do want to go into the office, let's say periodically, well, go in on a Monday and go in on Wednesday and go in for 3-4 hours each day. You've got full flexibility and full freedom in regards to how you want to manage that time and location and monetary value. I'll give you a quick example. If you have staff who are working for you, and you're reviewing their files, well, you can decide to if you want to sit down and do a marathon of reviewing, and because you're not going to be in for the next week, and you can review, 10, 15 files that are there. Let's just say on average each file is billed out at $2,500 to $3,000. Well, we're talking $30,000 to $45,000 in invoicing that you can get out and take the next week off. So you've got all kinds of flexibility when you run your own practice. And for those of you who may be working at a firm right now and you're not 100% sure, how do I get out of my current position and get into running my own practice? The beauty of that, the beauty of the answer to that question is it is seamless. You can continue working where you are working, and you can make a seamless transition into running your own firm and taking it from there. If that's something that may interest you, all my information is below in this video, so feel free to hit me up on that, and we can discuss what your options are and how you would go about doing such a maneuver such as that one, and get yourself to not only financial freedom, but location freedom and time freedom. Because all three of those variables, they all come into play at some point in time, and the best part about it is you can control all three. Okay, so my name is Kevin, and I am the owner of multi 6- and 7-figure firms in Canada, and I've done this a number of times. So if you want to hit me up and have a discussion, like I said, all my information is below in the link of this video. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much, and I'll see you all on the next video. Bye for now.